This video is going to help you understand Olympic judo and what's happening and why. And as you can see, judo is very exciting to watch. And since jiu-jitsu is not in the Olympics, at least not yet, judo is our next best option. I made a similar video the last time the Olympics were rolling around, but there's a few things I want to update and add. So you can watch that one if you want, but this will be the better video. First things first, what is judo? Judo is a grappling sport much like jiu-jitsu and wrestling, but it has a couple different emphasis and different rules and different ways that you can win. There are two main ways that you can attempt to win a judo match, either by ippon or waza-ari. An ippon is a throw that lands the opponent on their back with strength, speed, and control. And on screen for you right now are some examples of that. An ippon is also awarded for a submission, or if you can hold your opponent on the mat for 20 seconds or longer. You can think of an ippon as an immediate match ender. As soon as one happens and one is scored, the match is over and the person who scored the ippon is the winner. Another way to score in judo is the waza-ari, which is kind of like not all the way there ippon. It's a throw that's missing one or two of the elements, the speed, the strength, or the control that would normally score for an ippon. A waza-ari is also scored if you hold your opponent to the mat for more than 10 seconds, but less than the required 20 to score an ippon. However, if you score two waza-ari in a match, they combined to become an ippon, and as previously stated, an ippon means you win the match automatically. When the 4-minute match ends, if there have been no ippons, the competitor with the most waza-ari is the winner. If the number of waza-ari is tied between the competitors, we go to overtime and to what's called golden score, which is just like it sounds, the first person to score a waza-ari or an ippon will win the match. There are also fouls in judo, and we're not going to go into super depth about them because they don't happen as much as the other things, and I don't want this video to be 30 minutes long, but there are things you can't do in judo, and there are two categories of fouls. The first one is hansukumaki, and I don't know if I'm saying that right because I don't speak Japanese, but I'm going to go with it. But this is what's considered a grave infringement on the rules and leads to immediate disqualification, and that means the other person wins the match. There is also the lesser shido, which is a less grave infringement, and the first two of these are actually a warning, but if you get a third, it becomes a disqualification, and again, the opponent wins the match. Judo is a weight-restricted sport, which means that competitors in the Olympics will compete in one of 7 divisions for the men or 7 divisions for the women. And if you compete in a weight-restricted sport, or if you just fancy living a lot longer, then you know access to a sauna is a huge, huge advantage. Fortunately, Sweat Tent have created a portable home sauna that is a fraction of the cost of other home sauna systems. I have one, I love it, it gets super hot, and it's so good for your health that you'd be silly not to check them out at sweattent.com. Plus, you can use the code Justin to get $100 off your order. I have linked them below in the description, so check it out. The most common submissions in judo are chokes and arm bars. If you're hoping to see some heel hooks at the Olympics this year, you are unfortunately out of luck because leg locks are not allowed in judo. Also, if you're wondering why a good wrestler doesn't just come in and hit a blast double and win that way, well, grabbing the legs or the pants during a takedown or throw attempt is not allowed and would be an immediate disqualification. Speaking of wrestlers, make sure you subscribe to the channel because I'm going to do a video just like this one about Olympic wrestling, so you don't want to miss that, so stay tuned and subscribe. Maybe I'll even do a video about Taekwondo, which is silly, but maybe I'll do it. But back to judo. When the fight does go to the mat, if an ippon has not been scored for the throw, there is no time limit on how long someone has to work for a submission, so long as the submission is actually in progress. As soon as things stall out, the ref will call a pause to the action and the competitors will return to their feet. That's why in judo, you see people diving for submissions almost immediately as soon as the fight hits the mat. They don't want to lose their dominant position and get stood back up. Now, when you're watching judo, you will see the referee do so many different hand signals, especially about fouls or infringements or things that are not allowed in the match. I'm not going to go into all of them because, as previously stated, I don't want this video to be 30 minutes. You'll never watch the whole thing, and that'll crush me in the YouTube algorithm. So we're going to keep it short with just a few of the basic things you will see. This signal means that an ippon has been scored and the scoring competitor has won the match. This is the signal for a waza-ari, and this is an example of one of the many penalties that can be called during the course of the match. This is uses a Hansukumaki for grabbing the pant legs. And again, I'm not going to go into every single hand signal, but you can see that she is signaling what the infraction was and she's pointing to who committed the infraction. So I hope all of this was super helpful to you. I hope you enjoy watching judo at this year's Olympics in Paris. I know I will be watching. I love to watch judo. It's one of my favorite sports to watch in the Olympics. Let me know in the comments if you have any other questions. I'll try to jump down there and answer as many as possible. Thank you all for watching. Stay tuned for the wrestling video. Subscribe to the channel. I'll see you in the next one.